Welcome to the KNN Kuka News Networks. I'm Roy Chang Gang here with you. This may be the last time you hear of me. I was sentenced to the death penalty. I don't know why. Alright, and tonight we'll be talking about this year's presidential election, a Whig versus a Democrat. Well, and the Kansas-Nebraska Act. We'll talk more about that. Bloody Kansas. Our main event is Uncle Tom's Cabin. This is a book about anti-slavery. You know, the North and South have been separated lately because of slavery. This book was published today in 1852 and caused a lot of tension. It was written by a woman. A woman? Rob, are you sure this is right? Okay. Her name, Harriet Beecher Stowe. You know, women are not that important, but this lady caused a lot of ruckus. And live on the scene is Sadie Kelly, another woman. I didn't know a woman was on this network. All right, Sadie, tell me your thoughts on this.
Thank you, Roy Changang. I am Sadie Kelly, live on the scene. Today we're talking about Uncle Tom's Cabin, which is an anti-slavery novel written by Harriet Beecher Stowe. It helped lay the groundwork for the Civil War. She was an abolitionist. Uncle Tom's Cabin was the best-selling novel of the 19th century. And it was the second best novel of the 19th century, followed by the Bible. Okay. The book helped inspire popularize a number of stereotypes about black people. Uncle Tom's Cabin is dominated by a single theme: evil, the immortality of slavery. Stowe weaves other sub-themes throughout her text, such as moral authority, of motherhood, and their redeeming possibilities through Christianity. She emphasizes the connections between these and the horrors of slavery. Stowe changed the story's voice so she could give it a homely on the destructive nature of slavery. The most dreadful part of slavery, to my mind, is the outrages of feeling the affections to separate families, for example. That is one of Stowe's quotes from the book. One example of the dominant theme is when St. Augustine Clare is killed. He attempted to stop a brawl between two inebriated men in a cafe and was stabbed. One of the examples is the death of the slave woman Pure, who was whipped to death for being drunk on a constant basis. However, her reasons for doing so is due to the loss of her baby. In the opening of the novel, she fates of Eliza and her son are being discussed between slave owners over wine. Considering that Stowe intended this to be a sub-theme, this scene could foreshadow future events that put alcohol in a bad light. Because Stowe saw motherhood as an ethical and structural model for all the American life, she also believed that only women had the moral authority to save the United States from the demon of slavery. Another major theme of Uncle Tom's Cabin is the moral power and sanctity of women. Stowe's puritanical religious beliefs show in the novel's final overarching theme, the exploration of the nature of Christianity, and how she feels Christian theology is fundamental incompatible with slavery. This theme is most evident when Tom urges St. Clair to look away from Jesus after the death of St. Clair's beloved daughter Eva. After Tom dies, George Shelby eulogizes Tom by saying, "What a thing to be a Christian." Because Christian theme plays such a large role in Uncle Tom's Cabin, because of Stowe's frequent use of direct authorial interactions on religious and faith, the novel often takes a form of sermon. Harriet Elizabeth Beecher Stowe was born June 14, 1811, in Litchfield, Connecticut, to the Reverend Lyman Beecher and Rosanna Foote Beecher. She was the sixth children out of 11. There's Miss Stowe now, walking her pet rat, I think?
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
So, you're the little woman who wrote the book that started this Great War.
Yes.
So what is this book mostly about?
It is about the harsh life for African Americans under slavery.
Do you realize that this book has energized the anti-slavery movement?
Yes.
What has influenced you to write this book?
I had a vision that there was a bunch of slaves that were killed at Bowdoin College, and I lost my 18th month son. I wanted to relate to the poor, helpless slaves and capture the nation's attention.
Well, Miss Stowe, we're sorry to hear about your loss to your son, and we want to thank you for this interview. Back to you, Roy.
Thank you, whatever your name was, Sally, Sadie, Sari. All right, and now, on to our commentator, Miss Cheryl Miller. Another woman, Rob. Are you kidding me? Let's see what she has to say.
While I'm sitting here as it's raining, it's obviously a sad election because the Whigs are losing the presidential election. They are going against the Democrats, and they do not have a lot of votes, which is really sad, so I might go vote for them because it's really sad. It's November 2nd, 1852 today, and it's just like the 1844 election where the Whigs were losing by a lot and the Democrats are winning. So from the Whigs, it's Darley Clinging, Winfield Scott, and for the Democrats, it's the Franklin Pierre. And the Democrats are known as the Dark Horse, and they had the popular vote. And the Whigs have 0 votes, which is really sad. Someone says they were like a loser in a report I saw earlier. And the person before him died to come to the election. Is that not sad? That makes me want to cry. And so that's all I have to say about the presidential election. So if you want to go vote, if you want to go vote, go ahead and vote. The Whigs are losing, the Democrats are winning. So if you want the Whigs to win, I would say go vote for them. The Democrats probably will win, so that's what I'm going to say. So, thanks, and back to you, Roy. So, I'm just going to really get into the election, and I'm going to ask someone, a person just on the street, to see what their thoughts about this election is. So, let me go find someone off the street. I don't know if she has a home right now, but we're just going to invite her into our studio. So I'm talking about the presidential election, and I'm sure you might know a little about that. So how do you feel about this one coming up?
Well, I don't really have a TV or radio, so I don't really know much about it. And
So we're going to tell you a little about it. The Whigs are losing by a lot. The Democrats are winning. That's sad you don't have a TV. Maybe one day you'll get one. Black Friday is coming up, so maybe you can get one on sale. For the 18th. Okay, never mind. So, what do you feel about the Whigs losing by so much?
Well, it seems pretty sad. I mean, I don't know why they're running if no one likes them.
Yes, that's a good point. And how do you feel about how it's similar to what happened in 1844, which is just a few years ago, how it's almost a repeat of history?
Well, I guess it's kind of convenient. We can learn from our mistakes.
That's what history is about. A lot of knowledge. Thank you for coming and sharing what you thought about it. We'll see you next time on KNN. So, thanks, and back to you, Roy.
Thank you, Sherry, Shayla, something, another woman. All right, and that's all we have today on the KNN. Come back next week for more news. This is Roy Chang Gang, signing off.
Kevin, we got him. Roy Chang Gang, read for your breast for a Cat 5